Yes.
I'm so excited to host Lilian from Singapore today, and very excited to host the ABWCI Dialogues. As you know, ABWCI is a virtual global chamber of commerce for women. And this platform is now, you can say, one of the biggest in the world. And we are working on social and economic empowerment of women entrepreneurs. Our mission is to establish a collaborative ecosystem to engage, network, identify, and leverage market opportunities globally. And this entire mission, which we are now taking, I'm very glad that we have presidents and entrepreneurs like Lilian who are leading this from the front. And our vision is to nurture and provide an enabling environment for women in business and to build a sustainable and better future. Today, the platform, and we have operating presidents in 22 countries, and we have database in 40 countries today. Very, very happy to let you know, and to the viewers and also all the listeners on this show. ABWCI Dialogues is a chat series to create a productive space that invites key stakeholders to this ecosystem to join and to listen to women in business, and which are industry experts, some of them, and also looking at ideas, their journeys, their experience, and the challenges which they face. ABWCI recognizes 4 big challenges of women. One is access to finance, access to technology, access to market, and how we can create the whole ecosystem which will be helpful to create that. Now, to introduce you to our guest today, and the guest is not new to us. She is of the family, from the family of ABWCI. She is our ABWCI Singapore President, Lilian. Lilian, welcome to the show, and I'm very glad that we are talking to you today and speaking about. I also want to talk about you. I want to in a paragraph, I want to talk about your achievements. So you are a founder of Class Living, which is an all-women-led business that is about providing the passion and empowering women to focus on their personal development. You are a founder of Women Courage Asia, and with a vision to see women living their dreams and destinies while making a positive impact in the spheres of influence. So I'm very, very glad, Lilian, that you are doing such a great noble work towards this entire empowerment. And as I always say, building capacity is not training, but building capacity is the mindset to build your capacity, which is how you will be living your life and also leading life as such. As you, through your courage coaching, community building, sharing your stories, you have done not only in Singapore, but also in various parts of the world. But Lilian, first of all, welcome to the show. And I'm very glad that you could spare your time and also come for this show. So welcome, Lilian, to ABWCI Dialogues.
Thank you very much, Parul. Thank you for the invitation to be on this dialogue. I'm very privileged and honored to be, having this conversation with you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. So Lilian, just talking about, the whole, your journey, starting, because this is my, when I speak to women leaders in various parts of the world, I want to understand, and viewers and all my audience wants to understand, when you were young, were you thinking that you will make it so big, or this has happened with your later part of life when you thought that, okay, now is the time, when you saw the situation of women in a part like Singapore, in a country like Singapore, you thought about it, or from your childhood, the dream was to empower, to build capacity and lead this from the front. So this is what we want to understand, because we want to understand from you how your life has gone into, how you made your life, and today as a leader, which you are, and we want to understand from, because this is also will help us, all our women entrepreneurs and women who are listening to us, to understand about your journey.
Right. I have never thought about becoming an entrepreneur or running a community or being a community builder. I've never it has never been my dream or ambition as a child. But what I can remember was that I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a child, because I guess whenever I see injustice, there's something inside me that wanted to stand up for the injustice. Yeah. But unfortunately, I did not become a lawyer. I studied real estate management instead. Yeah, under the influence of my cousin who was doing very well in the real estate industry. So I worked in the corporate world for just a very short number of years. Probably, if I add it all up, I think that will only be 6 years of corporate experience in the corporate world. Yeah, but I do remember that my grandmother, whom I have not seen, have not met, but I hear from my cousins and from my parents that she is very entrepreneurial. She was the one who is always starting the business. She has the business ideas, and she was very entrepreneurial.
Wow.
And my dad actually was also, have that entrepreneurial DNA, if I may say it. Yeah, so he was always like experimenting with different businesses. He has done furnishing business, interior design businesses. He has done the mobile car industry, automobile businesses. Yeah, so he is very entrepreneurial as well. So maybe just maybe that kind of a DNA has deposited in me. And I realized that during my young adulthood, I couldn't sit still in a office setting. Yeah, I just couldn't fit in. Yeah, so I'm a very people person. So doing sales and marketing seems to be the sphere that I feel more comfortable with. Yeah, so being in the real estate industry, I did experiment in a couple of years, right, in the different spectrum, because real estate has a wide spectrum of different area. Yeah, so I landed up, doing being an entrepreneur in the end.
Yeah. So as a business, so you lead. One is the community. You build a community, which is Her Courage. Class living. Talk about class living and your Her Courage. Can just describe what you do. How do you get women? What is the process? And also looking at the entire thinking about meetings which you have on a monthly basis, or twice in a month. Just walk through about your business.
Right. Class Living is a social enterprise. We are women-led social enterprise, and our focus is empowering women to live out their dreams, because we believe that women has a voice. They have the value, they have the visibility. We want to celebrate that and to empower and equip them with a courageous mindset. Yeah, so that they can create an impact in their own sphere of influence, either through their life or through their businesses. So, and to create that support, the holistic empowerment, community support is very important. Yeah. So I have two communities. One is Women of Courage Asia, and the other one is Her Courage Business Network, to provide the support for the different needs in both communities. Yeah, so that's what we do. Yes.
So how do you do women contact you, or you contact them, or how do they know about you, or is it all through social network?
Well, it all started very organically, yeah, because I was reaching out on a one-to-one basis. I was doing coaching and providing just sharing my experience. So slowly through that, the community was born, and a lot of it was by word of mouth. Yeah, and then of course later, running the business to make it sustainable and leveraging on systems and technology and social media. So it is pretty much still by word of mouth, through social media. Yeah.
So that's what it is. So they come, they basically, you talk, you discuss, and it's a community which is basically helps each other, And then there is also business opportunities and all. Because why I'm talking about in detail is that a lot of women who are joining us from across the world, sometimes their countries are not like Singapore, as you know, to describe. Because Singapore, I feel, is very, very cosmopolitan, where you have, you know, people uh, coming from various parts of the world. You know, you have Americans, you have Australians, you have, you know, people coming from India and South Asia and all that. But it's very cosmopolitan. So in a country like Singapore, how have you made this a kind of a community which is from various walks of life?
Yeah, I think first of all, we started is with a structure. It's a structured meeting. The monthly meeting for both communities are structured, and there is a specific intention, right? So for one, which is sharing of their stories, their personal life, and the strategies that they adopt to overcome those challenges. So to strengthen up the mindset. While the other side of the network is also structured with networking. Networking and collaboration was the key intention, and to provide that support, mentoring support, because many of these female entrepreneurs, you know, could be solopreneurs and micro enterprises who do not have the support of a boardroom, a board of directors to brainstorm together. So we even have weekly mastermind roundtable to support each other. Yes, Singapore is very cosmopolitan. You know, it's like a melting pot of different race, different, you know, women from men and women from all walks of life and different nationalities. So, but the community is structured in such a way that that's regardless of what background you come from. It is all about the mindset, and it's all about showing up with courage and equipping each other with the skill set.
Correct. Yeah. The capacity building mindset that, you know, if we are together, we are talking, sharing experiences, stories, learning from each other, and that's all. So now, you know, if you look at, you know, leading to this, my other question is on Singapore. How do you think that there is a ecosystem available in Singapore for women entrepreneurs to grow? What's your take on that?
Well, we are very blessed to be living in Singapore, especially as a women entrepreneur, because the support system and the resources are rich, and the government is doing their best to provide that resources. Yeah. But having said that, though resources abound, self-perception may still be a stumbling block for many women, because there was a key finding, you know, that one of the issues affecting Singapore's prospective female entrepreneurs appears to be a lack of confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why you feel that, you know, there is this situation? Do you think that this is very ancient, or something which has been imbibed, or things have not changed, or they have not got the chance to change the whole thinking? What is, according to you, is the main reason? Or they're not getting chance in terms of they don't sometimes feel that they are, we can say from a perspective, which I always feel, is that you have the government is giving a lot of resources, opportunities, but there are not many people taking opportunities. Because in our country or in South Asia, the situation is very, very different. There are less opportunities, but there are a lot of people who want to take the opportunity. You know, so they feel that, you know, opportunities have to be on that. Because I feel Singapore is doing a lot of you know, work where promoting entrepreneurship, giving more of cash-based transfers and subsidies, to see that, you know, entrepreneurship should be at the top of it, because very, very entrepreneurial in that. So you are saying that there are a lot of, you can say, possibilities or opportunities, but there are less people who are using those opportunities. Is it right what I'm thinking?
I think the resources, the support, the opportunities are fantastic. They are great, and we see a lot of men, lot of men leveraging on that. It's just a lack of women showing up, and I guess one of the reason could be women. Maybe I can speak only for myself, but there is a report, recently in the Business Time as well, that touched on the issue, the area where women may not embark on the entrepreneurial journey just because of opportunities.
Yeah.
But rather, what can we do? What is the meaning or the impact that we can create through this opportunity? So likewise for myself, I wouldn't have started Class Living if it wasn't for the purpose of empowering women to create a social impact. If it's not for that, I don't think I would step out into the entrepreneurial journey. Yeah. I don't know whether does that make sense.
No. It because these are things which are important, and because people from outside are also starting companies, because because of the ecosystem, and also there is access where transferability of dollar is there, where people can send money and also can take the money out. There is no restrictions and ease of doing business. So these are things which are very, very helpful in Singapore from that perspective as such. So please.
Yeah, I think more than ever, women want to use our wealth and our capability to change the world and have a positive impact on society, supporting other women in their business, or even tackling global issues, like climate change, or so that purpose-driven motivation is strong among the women.
And do you see, because from a larger, bigger perspective of women entrepreneurs, do you see that a lot of women are also export oriented in services, like going out and working from Singapore and creating a bigger name, but started from Singapore? Because that also shows the whole ecosystem, or the ease of doing business from Singapore.
Yes, the government actually encouraged that, right? And there are resources and support and grants that are available for us to tap into to bring Singapore, for the Singapore business, male or females, to venture out. Yeah, so the support is there. And I'm also very glad that ABWCI is providing that platform, that network for us to connect with the other women throughout the world. So I think that is really a great support system and opportunity for us to venture out. Yeah, so thank you for starting this this platform.
No, thank you so much for stating that, because definitely the mission is to bring this kind of a network in various parts of the world and connecting you as leaders from across the world. Because my personal feeling, and because I'm a founder of ABWCI, I always felt that there is a need to network at a greater length. As we have country groups, we want a global group where countries join their hands, and women entrepreneurs create this kind of network, which is, there is no need for maybe sometimes to anchor, but they have their bond. As I always speak, that ABWCI president is your guardian in that country. Means that the first port of call. If you have any problem, like some women going from Norway to Singapore, they will, and if they are ABWCI members, then you will become the first port of call if they need any help, advice, mentorship, support, or want to understand the business.
Yeah.
In those countries, because that's what the mission is, for us to work together. I don't know if you feel that the mission in being accomplished, or we have started this entire journey. So where are we now, according to you?
I am actually very privileged to be part of this network, because through ABWCI, I am connected to the other women-led businesses through the different parts of the world. And take Malaysia, for example, I'm able to connect with the country president in Malaysia and in the Philippines. Yeah, so launching my programs with the support of the country presidents in that network. So I think this is fantastic. This is like, it gives us confidence, and to venture out.
Yes.
Yeah, knowing that there is another country president, a sister out there that will support,
and
support each other.
Correct. And Lilian, I'm just, want to steer you to your boot camp. What kind of, because you run a boot camp also for women, where you have limited seats, but very good boot camp where you take women to another country and show them, the business opportunities. And talk about that boot camp also.
Yeah, I think for the boot camp, we launched it first in Singapore.
Yeah.
And that was like during the pandemic period. Yeah, it was a challenge, but we launched it. And then last year, we were able to bring it to Malaysia, to KL. Yeah. So, and now we are planning the next one in August in Penang. Yeah.
Wow.
And we are also discussing with the country president of ABWCI Philippines, to
yes.
run the one in the Philippines. Yeah, so we are very excited for that network and support for each other, so that more women can be empowered through these boot camps.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's a good way to look at, because when women travel together, they bond, and then there can also be cross learning and cross business, because we look at inter-country and intra-country from that thinking, that how this entire thing. So do you feel, when you are talking to Philippines and entrepreneurs or presidents in Nepal and other, do you see that your ecosystem, there's learning from Singapore can go to these countries?
Oh yes, definitely. I think like I said, I'm very blessed to be born in Singapore, grow up in Singapore and educated in Singapore. And I think what we have received from the education system, from the support system that the government has been providing for us, we definitely are able to bring our value out of the borders, out of the shores, to the different parts of the world, to provide that, to provide our services, to provide our knowledge, to provide our experiences. Yeah. So yes, definitely.
No, good. And we also wanted to understand from you, when it comes to you, just talk about, your successes and also your failures. From a perspective, it will be learning for entrepreneurs across the globe. What, according to you, you felt that it was a good success, or you felt, okay, no, this was a failure, but it's good learning, because failures give you a lot of learning. So we want to understand that.
Yeah, I have deleted the word failure in my mind and replace it with learning experiences.
Okay.
Yeah. So every time something happens, the result is not what I expected, I would ask myself, what am I learning from these experiences? What are the lessons that I learned? What are the wisdom that I can get out from these experiences? So I don't encourage my children or anyone in my community to declare that, it is a failure. So if you see it as a failure, then it is a failure. Yeah. So I want to encourage aspiring entrepreneurs out there, whatever you are embarking on and venturing out, always see it as a learning experience. Personally, my learning journey was very, very steep because I didn't have mentors in my life in the initial period, right? I was like navigating through the whole entrepreneurial journey. I call it a school of hard knocks. I learned all the mistakes that I made all the mistakes that I could make. But with a mentor, your learning curve can be shortened, right? Yes. And you can foresee and be aware of what are the pitfalls along the way, what are the pitfalls up ahead, and you are more prepared and more equipped to handle those challenges. Yeah.
No, good to see. But from the success, now you have spoken very well about the changing the nomenclature of failures from your life, and also learning from that. What has been your biggest success, if I can ask, of your life, to say, oh wow, you felt this is the biggest success as an entrepreneur, as a social networker, or running the social enterprise? Just talk about some examples, a few examples for our audience to learn from.
Well, if you want to talk about success, I think first thing first, I am a mother. So I would see raising up my children to be courageous, to have a positive mindset in their lives. That would be a huge, huge success for me, right? And as an entrepreneur, a community builder, and a coach, seeing the volunteers and the women that I coach breaking out from their fears and their limiting beliefs and their self-doubt, and pivoting into a purpose-driven life, making a difference in their own sphere of influence. And some of them even, pivoted from plans to commit suicide to now living a purpose-driven life. The transformation from each and every one of them in the community has given me and motivated me to continue this work, continue this mission, because they have shown me and they have inspired me that, what I'm doing is of value to them, and it will be of value to many, many other women around the world.
And they may be waiting for you to meet you, because you have a very positive, you can say, a statement to put, that you are changing people's lives, women's lives as such.
Yeah, one at a time. One at a time. It all started with one at a time.
One at a time. Yeah. No, very good. And what is the advice you want to give to women, as women entrepreneurs or women in you can say women at large, whoever is listening? What is your 2 or 3 advices which you feel, okay, advice number 1, if what's a learning which you have, and the second and the third, if you just look at, because these are good advice and good learnings.
Yeah. Through the past 2 decades of, investing in myself and learning, I have so-called consolidated those experiences into a system. And that is the 3 A's. The first one is awareness. So gaining that awareness about your own strength, your own blind spots. What are your natural coping mechanism, and who are you, your identity? Because that will, with that purpose in mind and the awareness about your identity and purpose, that is the beginning. And it will sustain you, because the passion may die off, but the purpose, if you stay focused on your purpose and being aware of who you are and why you are doing what you're doing, that will be sustainable. And the second A will be attitude. What is your attitude? Your thinking, your feeling, and your choosing, your thoughts, your belief system, So we dive deep into that to ensure that those belief system will not be your stumbling block. Because you're going to, like it or not, you're going to face lots and lots of challenges. And you must have a very positive and strong mindset and attitude. And last but not least, action. If you don't take action, nothing is going to change. But not just any kind of action, but intentional and committed action. I always tell my community, courage is a choice. Courage is a choice to face fear. So I'm always doing it afraid. And if you don't know where to start, I love this quote by St. Francis of Assisi. He said, start by doing what is necessary. Then you do what is possible. And guess what? Suddenly you're doing the impossible.
Wow. I think this is amazing. First, awareness, the attitude, action. These 3 words, how passionately you have, put across. And there is so much of positivity which you have put. I'm really impressed with these 3 A's, because these 3 A's are the 3 aces of the entire game. 3 aces are the winners, to look at the whole awareness about who you are, where you come from, what's the mission you have, and then looking at the attitude. Do you have the attitude to win? The whole thinking about, the winning it can be winning the game of life. It can be winning in business. It can be winning in your personal life, and all those kind of, it's quite good. And the third is action. If you don't put awareness and attitude into action, how this action will happen? So really, with this high, I want to now, close this ABWCI, this episode of the show. But Lilian, I can say you are a woman of wonder, or you can say the substance that you have and really impressive what you describe yourself as the great 3 A's, which is the advice to a lot of women across the world, and how you have created a social business, and also looking at from the perspective of bringing change. Really great. I should say good wishes to you, your network, your friends, and we are lucky to have you as the president of Singapore. And I'm very happy to also let the audience know that in Singapore, there will be a lot of, in Singapore in November, you are putting with ABWCI a Women Entrepreneurs Conference, which is an international conference in the region. And we will be definitely sending invites to our network to see that they come and they also be part of the network and all that. So very good. But before we go, I have some questions which are there, which I want to, share with you. And this is about, let me see if there are questions. Lilian,
Yes.
yeah,
I saw the question.
Can you see some questions there? Can you answer those questions?
Yes, yeah. The question was, do you have intention to collaborate with coaches or other transformational leaders across the world to become borderless and create opportunities for greater impact? Yes, the answer is yes. I have already started that momentum to actually collaborate with coaches. In fact, the bootcamp itself is a collaboration of different coaches with different expertise, because it is a holistic program. So we need coaches of different expertise.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And this is a good question, and this can be really good, because as you have started this boot camp, my thinking is that, in India also, or ABWCI is with you as collaboration. We are thinking of these boot camps, which can be, learning with some kind of tourism and taking this, women entrepreneurs and strong women, where each can learn from each other, and there can be more camaraderie and there can be more network as such. So with this, thank you so much, Lilian, for your, for your presence, your kind words, your humbleness, and also the 3 A's, which is also very, very big learning for all of us and to the audience as such. I want to, wish you good luck in your new, future endeavors, and also very, very blessed to have you as president of ABWCI in Singapore. I think, time is great. I think we have to embark into this journey, and we have to be together on this thing. So thank you once again, and thank you so much for the audience which are joining us. And we will come again, we will meet again, and we will share more stories, more case studies. We will be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Good day. Have a good day. Thank you.